Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Sunshine State. My name is Sonshine Wiley, and I am your host. I am so glad to be with you guys today. Today is a wonderful day to be able to spend with gratitude, spend with people that you love, spend doing things that you enjoy. Today's topic is one that is near and dear to my heart, and it's basically asking, are you over the hump? So, the hump may be like obstacles that you faced, it might be medical challenges, it might be your fitness goals, it might be your financial goals. We're basically going to discuss today, or our overarching theme is going to be asking, are you over the hump? I have a wonderful guest with me today that I'll introduce shortly, but I just wanted to again thank you guys for tuning in. Again, this is an episode of the Sunshine State. My name is Sunshine Wiley, and I am your host. So, jumping right in, this guest that I have for you, I'll let his bio do the speaking for him, but he's got some really, really dope things about him, and then some amazing resilience that's at the back of all of that. So let me just jump right in. This is Neville Bain. He is affectionately called Bertie. He's from Charleston, South Carolina, currently living in Vegas. He's blessed to have a beautiful wife, Erin, and a daughter, Kai, and some amazing family and friends. And he's an associate director in the medical field where he leads diverse teams in multiple sites throughout the U.S. One of the specialties is a leader of building effective teams and leadership development. In addition, he had the opportunity to support multiple business ventures outside of his current role. In 2015, he was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma. He went through multiple tests and treatment, and at that point, he started his journey back to good health. I am actually proud to say that he is now a two-time cancer survivor. One of the goals that he has is to bring awareness to the importance of living a healthier lifestyle. And in his spare time, he enjoys family time, traveling, working out, and watching sports. And so, with all that being said, I just want to say welcome. Thank you for coming on the show.
Glad you have me today.
Yeah, definitely. It's not often we get to talk to someone who's been through, because like we have like sometimes when you see people who go through larger things than what you've been through, it helps you
hmm
to put things into perspective. So it's good to be able to speak about, the things that we go through, but then also have that moment to be like, okay, well, let me put my stuff back into perspective
Yeah,
because me having an attitude because coworker started talking to me crazy
exactly.
is a little bit different than something
hmm
like this. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us your story.
Well, man, I've just been journeying through life, and I came to a point in my life where a lot of things came into question. I
Mm-hmm.
even questioned myself if I want to carry on,
Mm-hmm.
because it was when you're that young, at the age of 32, and you're diagnosed with such a
Wait, you're not 32 right now?
I'm not 32 right now, no. I'm not 32 right now.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I'm still here. So,
Okay.
8 years
Mm-hmm.
cancer free, which I'm glad that I
Nice.
am. And I thank God and my family and folks who supported me through that process. But
Mm-hmm.
at that time in my life, most young folks, they're just going in life.
Yeah.
I was in the prime. I was grinding. I was enjoying life where I was, and then bam, just like that, out of nowhere, I just fell ill,
Mm.
and didn't know what it was. And back in my native state of South Carolina, where healthcare is a little bit much better than Las Vegas, because Las
Mm-hmm.
Vegas is known for showbiz, that is.
Right.
But it's multiple attempts to diagnose me prior to receiving that diagnosis.
Mm-hmm.
So at the time when I was diagnosed, I was a stage 4.
Oh wow.
And the doctor told me that I was days away from possibly not being here right now.
Whoa.
So
Whoa.
um time, it's just thinking about the perspective of it, the timing, and how things happen. You know it, it impacted me greatly.
Mm.
you
Yeah.
know it impacted
Yeah.
me greatly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you go from your whole world being shaken up? How do you go from like living your regular life, doing all of these things, and then you have this bomb dropped on you? Like, what are you saying to yourself in this moment?
Man, it's a multitude of things that I say to myself. First, I fall back on what my family instilled in me,
Mm-hmm.
which is faith.
Right.
Because at that time, like I said, you live in life, and That wasn't the most important thing to me at the time, was my
Yeah.
faith.
Yeah.
And then two, one of the things I learned from my fraternity that I'm part is perseverance.
Mm.
You're not always going to get to that point where you want to right then and there,
Mm-hmm.
but it's the journey in that story which matters the most. And I think
Yeah.
that's what I had to experience, is that journey,
Mm-hmm.
to where I appreciate life much more than I did at that time. And,
Yeah.
usually people have these things happen to them later in life.
Mm-hmm.
This happened to me, in the prime of my life, and
Yeah.
letting me know that, hey, you need to pull some things in perspective,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what I got from that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. 32 is definitely really young
Hmm.
to deal with something of that magnitude, especially because were you newly married at that time?
No, so a fun, not a fun fact, but it's an interesting fact is that
Okay.
at that time,
Mm-hmm.
um, we were not married. We were
Okay.
engaged,
Okay.
but we weren't married at the time.
Right.
So, when I was going through the whole phase, I mean, I couldn't do anything. I was in the hospital like 40 days.
Yeah.
So at that time, she wasn't my wife at the time. She was my fiance. I looked her in the eye and I told her, like, listen, whether I make it through this or not, I said, you don't have to stay by my side. You can carry on with your life. I mean, she's a young lady. So I told her that, and she just looked at me like I was crazy. Like,
Right.
really, are you telling me this right now? But yeah, like I said,
Mm.
I didn't want to hinder her progress because
Right.
of what I was going through at the
Mm.
time.
So, on the one hand, a person who loves you enough to say yes to a marriage proposal, especially a woman who is like real, she
Hmm.
ain't going nowhere.
Oh,
She's not. So she probably was looking at
uh,
you like you was boo boo the fool for even
she
asking her that.
she
Like
did.
what?
She said,
Are
"Boy,
you
you."
crazy right now? What are we doing?
She said, "I'm gonna talk to the doctor about dialing that medication back because I don't know what you're
Right.
thinking right now."
Yes.
So that was pretty
But it's
a pretty
also a
fun
real
time.
thing
Hmm.
because like there are people who aren't necessarily real who probably
Hmm.
would have ducked out
Yep.
in that moment. So that definitely shows you the type of woman that she is.
Yeah. And that showed me that our bond was much
Hmm.
stronger than what it was. Like I
Yeah.
said, when you're married, it's in sickness and in health.
Right.
But when you're dating,
Right.
you're
Because you
going
have
through
an
a relationship
option.
building, you have
Yeah.
options.
Yeah.
And we were in that phase, so that was really interesting time.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I bet that wasn't a
Yeah.
dang. So
Yeah.
you found this love. This love was amazing. You
Hmm.
decide, okay, I want to take it to the next step, and then bam, this bomb drops,
Yep.
and it's like, okay, well, let's put a pause on this so I can get me together. If and you still not
Yeah.
knowing whether or not you're gonna make it through. That's a
Absolutely.
lot.
Absolutely, it's a lot. I went through a range of emotions during that
Mm-hmm.
time. One, I guess I had to learn to find my way on my own, because
Mm.
what I mean by that is I was away from home, so I was away
Oh,
from that.
so you were already in Vegas?
I was already in Vegas during
Okay.
this time, and the only family I had in that particular area was my wife and my daughter at the time.
Oh wow.
So we were away from our home base, which
Mm-hmm.
is Charleston.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was interesting. So going through that period helped me understand that, one, we come in this world alone, we leave alone,
Mm.
but then two, we utilize the relationships that we build along the way to help us along on
Yeah.
our journey.
Yeah.
Because
Definitely.
there's a lot of people in my circle that they reached out to me, we talked, and that meant everything to me.
Yeah.
You know,
Definitely. Yeah, because people don't have to be there for you. Like,
no,
it's a lot of times where people will see the things that you're facing and be like, well, that's too much. Or they might not know what to say and still shrink back,
exactly.
So it's definitely good that you still have people who were proactive and were like, oh, no, no, no. You gonna hear from me,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So what do you feel like were some of the ways that you were able to kind of cope? Like other than your
Mm,
faith, like do you feel like that was something that well, let me take a step back.
mm.
How did you get from the first diagnosis, beating it, and then getting to the second one?
Well, the second was a surprise. So
Okay.
both of them were a surprise. I had a very interesting. I mean, it was a week where I didn't eat for a week. I
Mm,
had these really really bad night sweats, and I couldn't figure out what it was. I
jeez.
knew I was healthy. I wasn't dealing with any diseases,
Mm-hmm.
anything like that. So I didn't know where it was coming from.
Mm-hmm.
So a week went by, and Aaron's like, "You need to go to the hospital." I'm like, "No, I'm fine. I'll be okay." She said, "You hadn't eaten this for like 3 or 4 days. you're weak. You just need to make sure and see what's happening.
Right.
So I ended up going to the emergency room. It took about 2 or 3 days for the diagnosis to come back. But when it did, my whole entire world was turned upside down.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
So you're here. You made it through. Your faith carried you through the first one. When you get to the second point, now what are you thinking?
Well, that point was pretty scary because my doctor at the time he came in. I had to you had to do these PET scans and all these different testing when you're going through that process. And he came in the room. He looked at the results and he was just moving fast. And I'm looking like, what's happening right now? He was going in and out of the room, making these calls. And he sat down. He said, "I got to get you to the Mayo Clinic." I'm like, "What, doc? I'm supposed to be ringing the bell today."
Right.
He's like, "Well, we have to send you to the Mayo Clinic because your cancer came back." And he said it came back in a different spot, so we have to triage it really quickly. And it wasn't time to waste. So
Right.
I mean, he immediately contacted Mayo Clinic, and the very next day I got a call from that hospital, um, and they prepared to take me in immediately. So the thing about that is Mayo Clinic isn't in Las Vegas.
No.
It's in Phoenix,
Yeah.
Phoenix, Arizona.
Yeah.
So I had to have a short term stay in Phoenix for about 2 months.
Okay.
And at the time, Aaron's one of her brothers he was going through some transitions in life at the time, and luckily he was able to come down and stay with me there for that time period. I have a lot of family; everybody's working. It's hard for people to take that much time off for you. But at that point in time, he was able to do so. But like I said, it was very scary because at that moment, I did not know what was going to happen. You know.
Man.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. So I guess my question would be, what would be your aha moment regarding taking your health seriously from all of that? Like what was the thing that made you be like, okay, well, let me actually make some changes? Or did you decide then, or was it after then?
I think it was a little bit after that.
Okay.
Obviously, I was going through some of those things were going through my mind at the time. To be honest with you, I no one knows where what causes Hodgkin's lymphoma to turn on in
Right.
the body. There isn't anything pinpoint to it. I was just trying to draw back things that I may have come across
Yeah.
um, throughout my time, whether in South Carolina or in Las Vegas. But it doesn't run in my family,
Got it.
so it wasn't one of those things where I can link it back to something. It just wasn't. It was like nature turned it on. You got to go through it and deal with this.
Yeah.
So
Sheesh. So do you find it, so from that, do you find it difficult to ask for help when you need it? Because I know it probably felt like people were doing a lot for you, and how do you find it hard to ask for help?
I'm usually the one who helps others. So
Yes.
it is pretty challenging to ask for help. Um, which I probably should have, but I didn't. And that's one thing, one of the things I tried to bring awareness to other men. We were raised in our family that if you in the African American community, like if you're dealing with something, you deal with it, you work through it. So
Right.
the only person you reach out to help is yourself and God. And that's one thing that I would, if I could do it over again, I would do more of that of asking for help, not necessarily for anything monetary, but just say a friend, an attentive ear, somebody to
Right.
listen to you as you go through what you're
Mm-hmm.
dealing with. You know, but I mean, that's one of the things I had to learn post this
Mm-hmm.
um, issue in my life to
Right.
understand it.
So what is your health regimen like now?
Oh man, I am by way of my wife. That is, she she's when she started working out, she just continued on.
Mm-hmm.
When we first met each other, we would work out together, but I
Mm-hmm.
life, working. My work
Mm-hmm.
schedule was crazy, so it kind of fell out of our regimen that we had. But since then, man, I've gotten back into it. Not proud of it, but at my heaviest about 3 years ago, I got to like 395, and I'm like, you know what? I don't want to go into a situation where I fall back into this health scare again. So I have to
Right.
make changes,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll never forget the day. I went to the gym, signed up, and They gave me this trainer. Shout out to Derek and EB. He was a very interesting interesting trainer. I came and like, man, I'm quit. He said, "You not quitting. You can push through." And from that day, we worked out together. He's been a great friend. But I think that inspiration, having somebody to push me back
Yeah.
into it, has helped me. And since then,
Yeah.
the weight has fallen off. I'm down like 125 pounds. I go to lose about 50 more, but
Hmm.
it's just diving into the workout space and going to the gym and working out. That's a community, a supportive community of itself. But it
Yes.
also is good for not only for your physical health but your mental health. Yeah, it's a
Yes.
good place to go and decompress. Whether you're listening to music, you communicating with others in the gym. But it's just a good put me in a good place. And
Yes. So I'm gonna ask you this. So with all that, I know it's probably sometimes now you survived all these things. You're doing great now at work. You are, a father, you are a husband, you are all these things, a consultant to other people for their
Mhm.
businesses and things like that. So what do you do to retreat and actually take time for yourself now?
Man, I started practicing meditation. Like I
Okay.
take time to myself and meditate, and combining that with prayer and things like that, just so
Hmm.
I can self-reflect,
Hmm.
think through things on my own, and give me opportunity to decompress. I think a lot of times we don't do those things, so we take on so much in life from
Hmm.
work, whether you're in school, dealing with other people out in the community.
Yeah.
It can be pretty challenging, but the one thing we all have to understand is you do have to take time for self, whether you're
Hmm.
single or you're married. There's times where my wife and I we may go out with friends, and then there's times we spend together.
Or
But
go
it's
to
all
49er
I'll go
games.
to 49 again. That was a really
Oh
great
my
experience.
gosh.
When she surprised me with that for our anniversary, I tell you,
Yes.
I'm not a big crier, but I kind
Oh.
of I was like, it's just a moment, and she did a really good job. She got some really good seats. I'm really
Okay.
impressed.
Get it,
So
wife.
we were able to see some of them. We were close up on a lot of the
Hmm.
players and things of that, but that was really good. I've seen them play
Hmm.
before, but never in their home stadium. So it was a
Right.
good trip for us
Yeah.
together to go out there and
Hmm.
spend some time
Yeah.
together.
But what about that Super Bowl though? How'd
Ah,
you?
please, that's still a sore.
It's still
That's still
sore.
sore. And it was in my second home, Las Vegas. I mean, we were ready to drop the confetti and hang out with all the big names. Yeah, I don't want to talk about it.
Ouch.
Yeah,
Oh
you didn't have
man.
to go there tonight, but
I'm
I'll take it.
Cause I'm trying to, lighten it up a little
I
bit
feel you on
cause you
that.
got us all in here about to
Yeah,
cry.
man, I'm a big 49 fan. Man, it just that was hurtful too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
That was definitely hurtful. But Usher came in there and he kind of,
He told her.
yeah, he
He
kind of
told
did
her.
his thing
He
a
did
little
his thing.
bit. I mean,
You
as a
know.
married man, I was gonna ask you if you letting your wife go up there, but a lot of people are actually likening the whole Usher you dig to like Janet Jackson and how
Hmm.
she be pulling men up there. So are you going on the stage with Janet Jackson or
Who me? Oh man, that's
yeah?
Janet. Janet's a legend.
You going up there with Janet?
No, no, now I'm gonna go out there with Janet. Janet wouldn't pull me up there. She's not strong enough.
So she
Yeah,
doesn't literally pull
I
anybody.
know,
She
I
points
know.
them out and says, "Come up
But
here."
yeah,
Are you getting strapped to the little Janet
I'm
wheel?
not getting strapped to that.
Okay.
No, 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 no. There's certain things that we can and can't do.
Right.
A man of my stature, I don't think I will do that.
Oh, good
Yeah.
Lord. So if you weren't your stature, would you get on the wheel?
Quite possibly. I'm just kidding. I'm just having fun right now. Now I
Okay.
want to get on the wheel. Yeah.
Don't be having your wife come up
I
on this
know.
stage trying to swing on Janet now.
No, she'd probably laugh and look at me like that boy crazy.
I love that. I
Yeah.
love the lighthearted relationship that you guys have. That's awesome. So I've actually been reading a lot on like the benefits of the
Hmm.
cold plunge tub. Have you heard about that? Is that something
Yeah.
that you have tried?
I'm a little sauna guy. Like I love the sauna.
Okay.
Sit in the sauna and sweat it out. That's I haven't gotten into that yet. I'm
Hmm.
doing some research on it and setting up an opportunity to do that in the Las Vegas area. I heard
Yeah.
it's really good too, and it's good for weight loss because it
Right.
shocks the body and things of that.
Right.
So yeah, that's something I'm definitely looking into.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So what? So going back to like your time in recovery,
Hmm.
like what were some of the things that they were telling you or cautioning you to make sure that you included in your lifestyle moving forward?
I think the main thing was, my diet. For
Okay.
one, I've always been a heavy set man
Mm-hmm.
since a young boy.
Mm-hmm.
And just making sure I manage that. I'll
Mm-hmm.
be honest with you. My favorite candy was M&Ms. I would eat a bag of M&Ms. Now I wouldn't. I haven't eaten maybe a bag of M&Ms in about 2 years.
Oh Lord.
Um, because you don't look at all the sugars and stuff in it. So
Right.
I've changed that a lot in my diet and find other things. One of my favorite fruit to eat now is blueberries. I can eat a pint of blueberries
Mm-hmm.
and maybe a day or two.
Mm-hmm.
But I try to trade off some of the bad habits that I have for things now that are more healthier for me, like maybe
Got you.
fruits. Adding more vegetables in there, along with my protein. Added protein into my diet.
Got you. Got
Mm-hmm.
you. So, what are some of the ways that you would actually try to get away from it all? Like, how do you actually take some time for yourself to like fill your own cup? Like, what does that look like for you?
Oh man, I have many things to escape. Right now, what's been good for me is just going to the gym and working out, throwing my
Okay.
headphones in and just jamming out. Either
Mm-hmm.
myself or one of my good friends. We work out together,
Mm-hmm.
and just
Yeah, I
that
definitely.
the camaraderie and the
Yeah.
dedication and just put my body through that whole process.
Mm-hmm.
um Man, it's rewarding for me,
Right.
and to see
Absolutely.
that change in
Yeah.
my body as it changed,
Right.
and making that commitment never to fall away from it. 10 years ago, like throughout high school and college, I used to be very active, but
Mm-hmm.
somewhere in between I kind of fallen off that path.
Mm-hmm.
But now I know I picked that back up, and
Right.
and and that's a part of my lifestyle.
Mm-hmm. So, were you like into sports in college and things like that?
I didn't play sports in college. I was big in sports in high school. Did a lot
Mm-hmm.
of it. When I traded my cleats for spats. I was in a marching band
Oh,
in
what'd you
college.
play?
I played the sousaphone, the tuba. I'm a
Okay.
tuba guy, so that was my thing.
Okay.
So I try to chain in
I'm
like
trying to picture you with
the
this tuba.
gridiron for I do the halftime
You
shows
still on
now.
the
I'm up for the
field?
band. Yeah, still on the field, just not playing. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
football is my first love, but I've always been playing instruments.
Yeah.
In elementary school, I played the viola.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
Middle school, played the sax,
Mm-hmm.
and now I've played the tuba throughout high school and college.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice, nice, nice. I actually was also in the marching band, but I was only in the marching band during high school.
Mm-hmm.
I went to FAMU, so
Oh,
I,
oh.
I couldn't get with the marching
You should have
100.
been a
I was
100.
like, I'm not going, because I played the drum.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
So I was a bass drummer. So I'm like,
Mm.
there's no way I'm going to FAMU playing the bass drum.
Let me tell you, that would have been classic.
Uh-uh.
FAMU is one of the greats,
Yes.
marching band programs, and a lot of people
Yes.
that go through that.
Yes.
It's just
You kind of hated on us a little bit, though.
um.
You hated on us a little bit.
No, I haven't done hate on
Let's not.
FAMU. It's FAMU.
You hated on us a little bit.
I hate on FAMU. I had a lot of respect. A lot of my some of my friends, their band director they had some people that come up through FAMU. A lot of their
Hmm.
band members. So yeah, I mean, it's grown on me. The whole
Yeah.
HBCU band
Hmm.
program. So like, I don't knock any of them. All of them are special in their own right,
Yeah.
and it's good to see the creativity
Hmm.
and what they bring to you know what they
Hmm.
bring to the field each and every
Right.
Saturday. Yeah.
So, what advice would you give to a person in your situation who is like on the brink of trying to figure out, do I take this path to really like get on my health journey, because maybe they are in the middle of whatever health scare they are going through, or maybe they
Hmm.
are like pre-diabetic or whatever. What advice would you give to somebody who's trying to inch in and get back on the good foot?
Man, I would tell them, get started right away. Whether
Mm-hmm.
you just go out and walk, maybe walk a mile, you can start light.
Mm-hmm.
It can be intimidating going to some of the gyms and you see guys lifting the heavy weights or
Yes.
people doing all these, extravagant exercises. But the
Mm-hmm.
main thing is that you're active and moving around. That's the biggest thing. You want to be active.
Right.
Even when you're at work, some of us work at jobs where we're all at the computers and we're not
Mm-hmm.
up and moving. One thing I tell my teams is, the 40-minute rule. Spend 40 minutes of work, take the other 20 minutes, get up, stand up, walk
Yeah.
around.
Yeah.
Have that activity because just that movement is which is important for our bodies.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So, how do you feel like the things that you faced contributes to you being great at like leadership development?
Man, for one, I learned a lot about myself during that
Mm-hmm.
process,
Mm-hmm.
because there wasn't nobody to hold my hand through that process.
Right.
I had to go through that on my own.
Mm-hmm.
So first, once I found my inner strength to lead myself back into a good mental space, because I was at a point I was ready to throw in the towel, like, hey, I'm
Right.
done with this, I'm ready to go. And then, I heard, hey, it's not your time yet. You got
Right.
more to do.
Right.
So that just reinvigorated me to to lead others. A lot of folks in my family, we've been born leaders. We just
Yeah.
have to take it up and march forward.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what I like to do. I like to see people promote up and do different things, but
Mm-hmm.
I like to see that spark. When
Right.
folks come to me for whatever
Mm-hmm.
they may need for
Right.
questions. They, run their ideas by me. And sometimes I'm like, man, I'm signing for everybody else's ideas. Maybe I need to jump into the game myself and do some stuff for myself.
I
So,
actually have questions about that.
yeah.
But before I get into that
Hmm.
question, real quick,
Hmm.
what are your top three ways that you like to just kick it? Not the cute stuff where you
Hmm.
breathing and meditating and going
Hmm.
and trying to do yoga and sound bath. Not that. How do you kick it? Like, what are your top three ways that you just want to kick it?
Just kind of like you talking like hanging out for you.
Like, have a real good time.
Oh man. So Vegas be Vegas, man. I'm telling you.
Okay.
So there's a lot of fun things we do.
Uh huh.
And sometimes my better half, my wife, she send me sometimes like, you need to let's go hang out. And sometimes we go hang out, and sometimes
Mm-hmm.
I go with the guys. But there's a lot of great spots
Mm-hmm.
in Vegas that we go out and just
Mm-hmm.
one, network with others, but
Gotcha.
also to go out and have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
My wife kind of laugh at me because sometimes I'll get up and start dancing. I enjoy myself.
Okay. Okay.
She's
I
like,
need to see that in
you know what?
motion. Let me put some music on.
Yeah. See, and then people who know me, if I go back home and they're throwing the Atomic Dog, I'm like, come on, guys, not right
I was just about to
now.
ask you which fraternity was it because you slid it in there, but
Oh
then
man,
really.
I'm part of the great Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. Yes, yeah,
Also,
absolutely.
you one of them dogs.
That's right.
Okay.
I'm an Omega man.
Oh, excuse me, Omega Man.
I am a cute dog, but I'm an Omega man.
Omega
Yeah,
Man. Excuse me.
yep.
So,
Distinguished,
yes.
elite.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you skirt around that answer because you didn't answer my question. You didn't give me your type three because you're trying to be
Well,
cute. You
okay.
go to the strip
Okay,
club. What else you
no,
do?
no, no. I try to refrain from that. And see, this
What you
we're not
be
gonna
doing?
go there. So I mean, there's I'm big in hookah bars, although I may not
Okay.
partake in it. But there's
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people that I meet,
Mm-hmm.
whether they're in the entertainment business or
Mm-hmm.
athletes. There's some really nice places I go, and I just like to mingle around with folks and network.
Right,
So
right, right.
that's one of them. Um, yeah, see, you trying to open up a can of worms.
I'm
So
trying
every
to,
once
cause,
in a while, we
'cause,
dive into
we
that
just can't,
spot.
we can't be cute in here. Like we've been real.
Like I said, Vegas is Vegas. There's a lot of great spots in there. I'm not gonna name no spots because nobody can find me where I be at. But yeah, I be all over the city, man.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoy it. It's so much different than
Mm-hmm.
back home. The only thing I do miss from Carolina to this point is the water. We don't have that body of
I
water,
thought
like
you was
the
about to say the
ocean.
food, that fush.
Well, the
Ugh,
food, yeah, that food is, yeah, man.
my lord.
Now you not took me back.
The
Yeah,
food.
that took me back.
Oh goodness.
The thing about the difference though is that maybe that they don't have good Southern cuisine. They do have
Right.
different dishes from around the world that you can
Mm-hmm.
enjoy in
Gotcha.
Vegas, which is really good. But no, there's nothing can compare to this. So
Right.
we do have a few soul food kitchens in Vegas,
Okay. Okay.
But you got to get there early because everything's sold out by lunchtime. Like, dang,
Yeah.
y'all don't have nothing left.
Mm, right. So, all right. So I'm not gonna badger you too much longer about the Vegas life and telling all your little secrets for your little secret hangout spots and stuff like that because I get it. You got to keep some things
Yeah,
private.
absolutely.
Cool.
Absolutely.
But I am going to ask you, what do you actually have going on now? Because I know that there are some entrepreneurial things that you have brewing. So tell us about that.
Oh man, one of the things that we're diving into this year, we're gonna look into, well, not to look into, we are moving forward with a fitness brand.
Uh-huh.
The name of that fitness brand is just I'm wearing it. It's called OMNIBODI. And I
Omnibody.
love the word omni because if anybody know Latin, it's all. So, we want to be inclusive to everyone, all bodies,
Mm-hmm.
because, like I said, it's harder for someone who's out of shape to
Mm-hmm.
get in shape because you're
Yeah.
intimidated. You walk in the gym, you're
Yeah.
like, whoa, man, like, I ain't ready
Mm-hmm.
for this yet. And you see some
Yeah.
really advanced folks, but
Mm-hmm.
let me tell you something. You have to set your pride aside and dive in. The
Yeah.
only way you're going to change is if you change your mind and you get in and do the work.
Correct.
Yep. And
Absolutely.
once you change your mind, you change your body. And
Mm.
I've seen the impact of that.
Yeah.
I have this pants that I use as my motivation,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a size 50 pants, and I hold it up by myself now. I'm like, whoa, I used to wear
I thought
this.
you were gonna bring those pants. Did you bring them?
I did bring them.
You got them?
I did. I do have them.
You can go. I could. I can podcast. You can go out there and get the
I can
pants,
get them.
and I
Okay.
can chit chat a little
You
bit with the
sure?
people while
Okay.
you go get the
Well, let
pants,
me go get
because
the pants. I'll
we
be
gotta
right
see
back.
this good before and after. Because
I
when
will
I
get the
tell you
pants.
a 50 is way different from what we see here today, y'all come on, cause yeah. That's crazy. I love the fact that he was able to kind of like take the opportunity to not allow the things that he saw to like take him down. A lot of us, like, we get down in the dumps, and maybe he had some moments of depression, but he actually turned it into fuel for something better to potentially encourage someone else, which is definitely huge here at the Sunshine State, because that's the whole purpose of this podcast, to try to encourage somebody else to do the things that are helpful to them, being on the journey to making sure that your body, your mind, your spirit, all that good stuff is good, and making sure you get over that hump. Oh, whatever the hump is or may be for you. That's real dope. I'm excited to see these pants, because listen, yeah. And honestly, it's encouraging for me, because like I'm even on my like exercise journey right now, and in the exercise journey, I will say I have not seen my body go down as much as I would like for it to. And so sometimes I get a little discouraged, and sometimes I get a little frustrated, because I'm like, dag, I'm supposed to be snatched by now. I done worked out a lot. But it takes time, and seeing people like this, like Bertie, is a huge inspiration to the things that I want to do for myself. So that's dope. I'm excited. I am excited. Real quick, before he comes back in here, I do want to remind you guys that, again, we do have the Well brand, because yeah, we got the Well brand fitness, not fitness, Lord, the Well brand apparel. This is not fitness. Well brand apparel, and then of course we got the journals as well. All that stuff is in the bio, but he's gonna come back in and show us these pants. Come on in and model these pants. Not model them, but
Whoa.
not model them, but bring them in.
Now, it's taken a lot in me to do this, but I just want to show
Okay.
everyone, the changes that I've made
Okay.
in my body, and you can see. Lord, I'm embarrassed, but look at these pants. Look how big that pants is. This is a size 50, and you can see it takes up like half of my leg now. Can't
Yeah.
wear these pants anymore.
Yeah.
That's how big they are. Very,
Wow.
very large. I'm very listen.
Don't be embarrassed, be proud,
I'm not.
because that's dope. Like, for
Yeah,
real.
these pants are huge. I had them for a while, and I told Aaron, like, I want to show this off, like, take some pictures
Yeah,
of it
keep them.
because-
You had them pressed and everything.
Yeah, I had
you
them
got
pressed
you got the
because
church
this
crease and
is
everything.
This is my trophy. This is my trophy to show all my hard work and dedication.
Make sure you get your mic down. Get your mic
Oh,
back.
okay.
People got to hear you.
This is one of my trophies that I have to show my hard work and dedication.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, it's frustrating when you're trying to lose weight because, not every day the scale changes.
No.
But
I was just saying that. Like, you're encouraging me, because I'm like, I feel like I should be snatched by now, and I am not.
But as your body, as your body change, your weight may not necessarily change, but you are building
Right.
that muscle mass, and over
Right.
time, muscle mass is more active tissue, so
Right.
you'll lose the fat. So I'm just
Come on and break it
proud of
down,
that.
science-y.
Okay. Well,
the
as you
active
gain
tissues.
muscle, muscles are very active tissue. Sorry,
Yes.
I have a degree in biochemistry, so
Both of
you
us
know,
are science people,
so
so I get
yeah,
it.
I tend to forget that. But yeah, like your muscles are very active tissue, and they burn more calories than fat
Yeah.
cells.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think I've never. I can think in my adult life I've ever worn a 38, but today I'm in a 38, 40, so I'm down like 12, depending on the pants. I'm down 12. Went from a 50 to like 38.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So that's like going from a size 16 to a size 6, maybe?
Maybe
Or, we'll get the.
men is a cheat code because your whole life will change, if you know what I mean. When you
Oh, they know what you mean. They know what you talking about.
It's a cheat code. Stay
Kids, cover your
active.
ears. They know what you're
Yeah.
talking about.
Stay active. I'm
They know
telling
what you're
you.
talking
Yeah.
about.
Stay active.
Get that body out of there. Okay, all right.
Exactly. It changes. It changes a lot. So
Yeah. Well, we thank God.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So I am excited about that. So OMNIBODI represents all bodies and inclusive of all body types and encouraging everybody, regardless of what size you are,
Yes.
to keep going, to
They
push
keep going.
forward. And this is your reminder that you
Reminder,
got
yeah. Right,
this.
yeah, there you got this. I want you to feel like you're in a safe space when you wear it. Like some people, they mask on and they go
Right.
about their days. You put it on, and people read like omnibody. What does that mean? Hey, that's for all bodies. It's me inclusive.
Yeah.
Whether I'm a novice in the gym or I'm that
Yeah.
person who's been there working out for 20 years. Because there's a lot of people who've been doing it every day, but don't feel overwhelmed or intimidated to get started. I would tell
Yeah.
you, get started, and don't
Yeah.
worry about everybody else. You
That's
have to stay
hard.
focused on yourself because you look
Yeah.
around the gym.
It's hard. Especially these bozos in here
It
who be
is.
trying to show off and do
It
the
is,
most.
but you get in the day. The point is you want to get stronger each and every day.
Right.
Each and every rep, each
Right.
and every time you go in, just continue to grind.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I thank you so much for coming on today. This has been
yeah.
like a really awesome conversation. And I think that, I'll definitely be supporting the brand and I'll be making sure to push the brand and all those good things because I definitely believe in everything that it represents. I'm excited to, share in the opportunity. And I think that a lot of people could definitely benefit from understanding that you don't have to be a size 2 to feel good about working out. You don't have to be, already in shape to feel good about being at the gym and things like that. So that's really awesome, really dope. Real quick before we close out, tell the people how to reach you, how to contact you, where to follow you. Like give them your things, give them your
Oh man,
things.
I'm Bertie Bain on Facebook, Bertie on Facebook, Neville on Instagram. That's where I do. I'm start posting a lot of my content there. So don't hesitate to reach out. I want to make sure that you have a safe space, just as well as I had a safe space, and make sure you give it to you real. Like it's not gonna happen overnight. It takes hard work and dedication.
Yep.
And you have to keep going. You have to stay with it.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely got to stay with it.
You want to stay with it.
Definitely. So thank you so much for sure. Thank you so much for coming on. This is definitely not the end of this conversation because I definitely want to pick your brain about some of the tips and tricks and some of the things that you did to actually make that drastic drop. We don't really have a whole lot of time now, but I'll definitely bring you back because it would be interesting to know like what your diet looked like. What were some of the things that you included? So yeah, I'm definitely gonna bring you back for that. Yeah, definitely. Like real quick, what was like?
Diet, and I know a lot of people will hate me for this. You have to reduce your sugar intake.
Yeah.
If you don't cut back on the sugar, it's gonna be a lot harder. But consistency, diet, add a little more protein to your diet, and stay, and keep going.
Absolutely. Yeah. Keep going. I love it. So, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of the Sonshine State. Again, my name is Sonshine Wiley, and I am your host. I thank you guys so much. Please make sure that you like, subscribe, share, turn on the notification bells, all the things. Comment. Tell your mama, tell your auntie, your cousin, them, everybody. Make sure that they understand that this is a community that is for everybody and that is inclusive of all the bodies. And all the minds and all the spirits and all the people and all the things. You can reach us at www.sunshinestate.com www.sunshinestate.com. That is sunshine with an O. Again, that's www.sunshinestate.com. And again, we do have the wellness journals that are available. The link is going to be in the bio. Of course, we do also have our merch as well. And hey, also, we also have a comment box. So like there's a monitored email address that you can actually send comments to, show suggestions or any questions that you have for previous guests or for me. So definitely feel free to utilize all of that stuff. So with all of that being said, thank you guys so much. Be good to yourself and make sure that you're good to somebody else too, because just like somebody else might need your light, you might need your light too. Y'all have a good one. Bye.
Don't be afraid of the crowd, laughing loud and feeling free. Never noticed till you there was more. They can't see you really. So stand out, stand out, stand out. You're here, you're free, absolutely where you need to be. So stand out, stand out, stand out.
Welcome to the Sunshine State, a space for health, healing, and wellness.